You're watching a match and your kid has the ball, and an opportunity presents itself, but your kid hesitates to make a mistake, lose the ball, and you feel that drop in your stomach. Our first instinct as parents and often coaches as well is to believe that to fix this is just a matter of more repetition, more drills, perfect technique. We think if they just practice that move 100 times more, they have to get it right. Right? But the fact of the matter is, this training, this quest for perfect training, is actually setting your kid up to fail when it really matters. As a sports physio with a degree from a top global university, a youth soccer coach, and maybe even more importantly, a dad who's felt that exact drop myself, I'm here to tell you that the science of learning shows us a much better way of doing it than just doing more drills. For decades, we've been taught to think about skill development in a particular way. We've been taught to create recipe followers. The idea is that if we give the player the exact ingredients and the exact recipe, they'll end up with a perfect result. Most of us have seen practices like these. The drills are the recipe. The coach gives the instructions and the players follow them. And in a controlled environment, it looks great. The step over is perfect and the pass is crisp. But the game isn't a quiet, clean kitchen, is it? It's more of a chaotic food fight. What happens when the recipe follower is missing an ingredient? A passing lane that's closed down, or a defender that's an ingredient that wasn't in the recipe at all suddenly shows up. The whole dish falls apart, and your kid freezes because they only know how to follow the recipe. They don't know how to actually cook. But modern science, through a framework called ecological dynamics, shows us a much more effective way. We don't want to build recipe followers. We want to develop master chefs. A master chef isn't just someone who follows the recipe blindly. They understand the principles of cooking. They understand how to combine ingredients, how to adapt if something's missing, how to improvise under pressure. They can walk into any kitchen with any kind of ingredients and create something amazing because they understand the principles behind it. As a coach, my job is to stop handing out recipes and instead teach what the principles of cooking really are. We can create practices that are more like puzzles and that sort of forces the players into becoming adaptable problem solvers. And yes, that certainly might look messy at times. And sometimes it won't even work as intended, but that's okay because the benefits far outweighs the disadvantages of the old way. As a physio, I know that a recipe follower who only knows one perfect way to move can be rigid. When the game forces them into an unexpected, awkward situation, that's when injuries are more likely to happen. Not a guarantee, but more likely. Now, a master chef who is more adaptable and can figure out more ways to solve a problem, they are more resilient and are less likely to be injured. So, what's it all mean for you and your child? Perhaps we need to change what we value. A mistake in a game-like practice isn't like a burnt dish. It's the chef tasting the sauce and realizing it needs more seasoning. It's data. It's a crucial part of the learning process. So the next time you're watching a practice that looks a little chaotic with mistakes strewn in, don't panic just yet. The coach might not be totally disorganized. They might just be a brilliant culinary instructor training a kitchen full of master chefs. But how can you tell the difference? How can you spot if your child's environment is building recipe followers or master chefs? That's what you can learn in the video on the screen somewhere. See you there.